in broadcast. Hello, everyone. I just got a little confused here. I'm so glad that I am here with you tonight, and it is October the 26th, 2022, and you are here with me, Cindy Phillips, at Cindy's Creative Cards. We have a lot to do today. Um, well, not a lot really, but an exciting card is going to be made, and I'm excited to show it to you. And I'm going to do that in just a minute. I'm going to tell you all about it. It is a braided edge technique on a greeting card, which is what we're going to do today. Um, on this card, where it has the braided edge, I wanted to let this shine and let this be the focal point. So this is a very simple card, very easy to make, and I think that you all will enjoy it, especially learning this new technique. And when people look at it, they say, "How did you do that?" And I'm going to show you tonight exactly how I did do that. So I used 8.5 by 5.5 standard card size white cardstock, basic white cardstock, and I scored it at 4 1/4. Now, you do want to fold it and crease it. And so I am going to crease and burnish with my bone folder on both sides. Then what we're going to use, and this looks crazy, but we're going to be using this diagram right here. And this is one that I got off of Pinterest, but it was created by Lisa Curcio. So I'm going to show you exactly how to do this. You're going to cut right where the end of that line is and cut over like this. And hang on a second. Yes. I want to make sure that both cameras were working. And then I'm going to go and cut at the very edge of this. You're going to cut right beside this line all the way down. Try not to cut on the line, but as close to it as you possibly can. Okay, so this is what we end up with. So you're then going to place this on your card, which should be just about the same length. It's just a tad over, but that's okay. And I got it on the wrong side. You're going to put it on the side that is folded. So I'm going to put it to the edge, and I'm going to paper clip it right here. Whoops, it slipped. Paper clip it right there. And you don't want to go over these marks because these are marks that you're going to be cutting on. So I'm then going to do this one. Okay, now make sure it is lined up right with the edge, as I said before, and you've got, okay, and this is holding it in place very tightly. And I found it's best to use these coated paper clips because it does not slip. And I made it slip just then. Okay, so here we go. Now I'm going to get my sharp scissors, my paper snips. Oh dear. Okay, here we go. All right, and then what I'm going to do, I said that it did not slip, but it did. So I want to make sure it's in its right place. Well, okay, that's right. And you know, it's even probably better that you keep this longer so you can fold it over. That way there shouldn't be any problem. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to cut on these lines. This dotted line, you are going to not cut there because that's where you're going to need to fold. So you just cut like this. And it sort of gives you the willies when you're doing it, thinking I'm going to ruin this card. But it works, I promise. And this little piece of paper, this diagram, is wonderful. I tried diagram that someone else had done, and it did not work right. So I'm thankful for Lisa's. All right, so here we go. Now, I'm going to remove this. And this you can use again, probably after one or two times. Yeah, after a couple of times, it's going to get all out of whack, so I wouldn't use it anymore. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to make sure that you've got this thickest end here, where it is much wider here than here, where the cut is, and it's going to be pointing upward. So what you're going to do is you're not going to bother this first little piece, but you're going to take this little piece and you're going to go down to the fold and then push it down. Then you're going to skip this one and do the same with this one. Go down to the fold and push it down. Skip this one. There we go. Skip this one. And then pull it down. Skip this one. Pull it down. And you do that all the way up. Then what you're going to do is you're going to take this bottom one right here and you're going to cut it out like that. And you're going to save it because you're going to be needing that at the end. I am going to get that little piece right there off. Okay. So now you're going to take this one, you're going to push it down so it goes back behind. And this one will do the same. You'll do it all the way up. Okay, now you see you don't have anything here, so we're going to take this and get that little tiny frayed part off. And you're going to glue this one down right there, just like that. So I'm going to take my glue and I'm going to put some glue about halfway down. And that's a lot of glue there. Okay. And I'm going to put that in the center, match up my crease lines on both. And then match it up at the top. Like that. And just hold it for a minute so it can dry. And then you're going to push it behind. And there you go. You have a braided edge. Now when you shut this, see how pretty that is on both sides. You're going to need to burnish this. I'm going to press it down. But you are going to need to slightly go over it just like that. Not too hard because you don't want to get that shiny effect. Okay? So there. How simple. Wasn't that easy? And we did that in just a matter of 3 minutes. All right. Now, let's talk about decorating this. And I'm sorry my arm's in the way. I had to put pin in the glue. All right. So, what I did here is I decided that I wanted to keep the white face pristine. And I chose Evening Evergreen to be my base to go here. And then I chose this patterned paper. It's Cherry Cobbler. And it came out of the Lights Aglow paper collection in your mini catalog. Lights Aglow, Specialty Designer Series paper. And I'm going to give you a little hint here. See if I can get these papers where they'll slide out and show you how lovely these papers are. They are so pretty. And in here, I think I used these last time and I showed you, there are some photo pages that you could cut out and put on your cards. Perfect for little mini albums. And then the opposite side, let's see, I got everything in here. Let's see. They are really, really pretty. And I used these papers for decorating this card, but I also decorated a few more, and I'll show you those once we get this together. Okay. Okay, so we'll bring back our braided card, and remember, this is the bottom part. So we have got this, and in all of that, I think I probably put my solid piece right back in here. Let's see. Yeah. Here's the solid piece. So I'm going to go ahead and put this one, this Cherry Cobbler piece, and I'm going to use, I'm going to put it down, and I'm going to use my tape runner for this. And this one, this happened to be the back of one of those photo mats I was telling you about. Okay, so I'm going to place this down, centering it, top and bottom. Okay. Then I'm going to go ahead and we're going to glue this piece down. I'm using my silicone mat so the glue that goes off of it won't stick to anything. But I'm going to have to slide this back some. Okay, there we go. Oh, that looks a little off to me. Let's try this. Like that. I think that looks a little better. I have lights in my eyes, so it's a little hard to see. Okay, so then what we're going to do is we're going to take this piece, and I do need to tell you measurements. This green piece was 4.5 by 2 3/4. This red piece, this cherry cobbler, is 4 1/8 by 3 7/8. And then this piece that we are going to stamp our design on is 3 3/4 by 2 inches. And it will go just like this, but I want to stamp on it first. So for the stamping, I chose a Spruced Up Stamp Set. And this is in the mini catalog, our mini catalog on page 13, right here. It is $18 for the stamp set. The dies are 32. It has a lot of the dies. It has the outline and then the center part as well. A lot of really the presents, the candy canes, the trees, the ornaments. And on this particular ornament, it has the top part that is either silver or gold normally, the hanging part that you attach to that, and even a little snowflake. I still am not sure what this is. Maybe one of you can tell me. I have not been able to figure that one out. So anyway, lights aglow and spruced up. So what I chose to do here is I did the tree, and I did it for two reasons. One, it fit. Secondly, I liked the pattern on it. It sort of mimicked this braided portion over here. So I'm going to pull that out right here. And take this piece off. Now there are two trees. There's this smaller one, and then there's this one that we're going to be working with. Okay, I need to get my block out. Okay, and there we go. I've got that on my block. I think this is C. No, this is D. Block D. Okay, and I'm going to use Evening Evergreen. So I'm going to put this right here. And I'm going to ink this up. And that's a fairly wet ink pad, so you should get a good impression. I don't really like that as much. Let's try it again. There seemed to be more ink on one side than the other, unless it's the lights blinding me. Then leave a little room at the top to put the star. And just give it a little hold. And it did it again, but we're going to go with that. Don't know why. It's let's see, can you see that? It's a little bit lighter on this side. Okay, so then I am going to put this star on it, and I'm going to use crushed curry for that. So I'm going to move this ink stamp that is now clean and put it away. And I'm going to make a point of doing this because I think one of them fell in my trash can. I laid it to the side, the stamp on the block, and I heard a little thump at one point, and I thought it was the something that had fallen off of my table, but not that. And now I can't find it anywhere, and I've searched high and low, and I think it's gone in the trash. So that makes me very unhappy. I'm going to have to get another block and do without a stamp. Okay, so I'm going to put this here. And I want to get this straight because this definitely is a 5-pointed star. Okay. We're opening the crushed curry. It keeps moving. There we go. Okay. Seemed to have a life of its own. Okay, so now we're ready to put this down after I clean my stamp. We'll glue that down and put our sentiment on. Okay, I wanted to try one thing. I'm going rogue here. I want to try and see if that stamp set will stamp a little bit better than it did. Now what I do when this happens, there's several things you can do. The ink may not be well distributed in this pad. I'm going to go to the side. And it does look like that's not getting enough ink on it. And I made a point of pressing that down. Oh, much better. The other thing, it looks like the ink probably has migrated this way for some reason. You can get a spoon and slide it back and even it out, which is something that I will be doing after our live. But since this is a much better impression, it's not an impression, a stamp, this is the one I'm going to use. So I'm going to cut it after I put that away and this away with my paper trimmer. So I'm going to move all of these things I've got over here and bring in my paper trimmer. Now the white piece was 3 3/4. Now I've got to center this. So I'm going to go about right there and about right there. Okay. And I'm going to take just a little bit more off this side, and I think we're going to be good as far as that's concerned. Yep. And then I'm going to go down I can measure this, guys, but I'm trying to do this. And that's about the right. There we go. I had to center it, and I couldn't measure it from the edge. So we're going to do that little star once more. This takes up just a bit more time for me to go through this and show you and tell you what to do with your ink pads. But I think it's well worth it. Alrighty, so let's see right here. All right, there we go. That looks much better. All right, cleaning. Okay, you hear me pulling out those wipes, and they are baby wipes. Normally, I would say do not use baby wipes because the fibers in the wipe gets on your ink pads, and it absolutely destroys any kind of stamped images that you want to get. However, I use a brand called Kirkland's Ultra Soft, I think it is. And it does not leave those fibers on your stamp. Okay, that's going to work perfectly. So I'm going to now paste this down, glue it down, and I'm going to get this because I need to do the edge right there. Okay, I'm going to try and center this. It's not quite centered. It's been a rainy day here in Wake Forest, North Carolina today. Maybe you have been somewhere it hasn't been quite rainy. It's been warm, but it's just been a messy, yucky day. All right, I have gotten my sentiment, and I'm going to tell you about that in just a jiffy. And I am going to glue it down about there, making sure that it's centered. Okay, there you go. All righty, now the other thing, let me tell you about this sentiment. You could choose any sentiment from any stamp set that you like. I just chose one from an old stamp set, Christmas Gleaming, because I like that background being dark and the letters being white. You know, there are many sentiments that you'll have that you can use and choose from. Now, the next thing is I put embellishments on here. The ones that I used were Holiday Rhinestones, Basic Jewels, and this was from last year. The one that is most similar to this in your catalog, your mini catalog, would be the Festive Pearls. And that deep red would be what you would want for this. This red on these adhesive back seasonal sequins, that is just a little too bright. That's more of a poppy red, but this is more of your deep cherry cobbler or real red. So I did not have those pearls, so I chose to use these. Okay, so I'm going to get my pick it up tool or take it, whatever. I can never remember the name of this. And I'm going to put one up here. One about right there. And then I think I'm going to put a bigger one right down there. And there we have it. Okay, the inside, what I decided to do here is I just stamped whatever brings you happiness, may it be yours this holiday season. And that came from Spruced Up. Here's the first part. Whatever brings you happiness. The second part, may be yours this holiday season. So we can do that. And I'll slide the sequins over to the side. And let's see. Right here it is. Beside this thing, it looks like a train track. I just absolutely do not know what that is. Okay, and I'm going to need this. Actually, I can put them both on here. Okay, so whatever, and why they did not do this, I don't know. Whatever brings you happiness. There we go. And then right here, maybe yours. Let's see. Right here. And I'm going to try and center that underneath it. There, like that. Now, I'm going to test it first because I don't want to put it on there without knowing if it is going to work. And I seem to have lost my test strip, so we'll use this. And I'm going to think I want to do this in green, the Evening Evergreen. And I'm going to make sure that my stamp is inked up, since I know that this stamp pad is acting up a little bit. And I'm going to test it right here. Yes, and that's beautiful. Okay, so I'm just going to make sure I've got good ink coverage. I'll bring this down. I'm going to try to center and keep it straight. I always have a tendency to bring it down. Oh my, look what I did. And that, at first, when it's first inked, you can use your eraser and get a lot of it. I use this 3-corner General's eraser, I believe it is. It's amazing. It's what I call my magic eraser. Okay, and I got some of it off. And what I will do then is go back with this Faber-Castell. Let me close this. Or Faber-Castell. I'm not sure which they call it, Faber or Faber or Faber. Yes, it's the Germany Perfection 7058B, and it will get rid of this. What you have to do is work it back and forth in different directions, and it takes a little bit of time spent doing this, because you have to get down into the fibers. But once you do get down into those fibers, then it will quickly come up. It's already beginning to, you can see, it looks a lot better than it did. So I will finish that up. Or the other thing you can do is you could put something right there and cover it So anyway, here's our card. Now, I wanted to show you some others that I made using that braided technique, because I thought it would be fun just to use these Lights Aglow papers on different cards and to see what I could come up with using the same layout. So I want to make sure that my inky hands doesn't transfer. So I can use hand sanitizer. Just rub it over your hands like this, especially where those inky spots are. I tried to get off and didn't seem to be able to. And then it will prevent the ink on your hands from transferring. Okay, now here's one that I did with the background being the cherry cobbler. And I did put that white border because I think that that really enhanced it a lot. I used for this Decorated with Happiness. Now this is also in your mini catalog. Let's see what page. I forgot to find this one. It is on page 27. Right here. And it's got a very whimsical feel to it. I like it. I want to make a card where I can use this branch and have the ornaments hanging down from it. I think it'll be really pretty. It's the stamp set is $23. The bundle is $51.25, and if you would just get the dies, it's $34. So that's what I used for this. And then I used my alcohol markers, the cherry cobbler and the evening evergreen, to color these in. And this I did with the crushed curry. That's what that was, crushed curry. All right, then I did another one, and I used the evening evergreen, and I'm trying to figure out, oh, I used an old die set that I had for this little ball ornament. Die cut that, and then die cut the gold metallic sheet and cut this out and put it on. And then I used part of the Lights Aglow green paper for that. And I can show you that. It is this sheet right here in the Lights Aglow pack. And the piece underneath was from Classic Christmas Holiday Designer Series paper from last year. This piece also comes from the Lights Aglow section, or set, paper Designer Series pack, and it's right here. And it's perfect for these rounded balls, these ornaments. Okay, and then I just used this to back my greeting that I fussy cut, and I used the metallic brads for that. They're not brads, they're metallic, let's see what they're called, brushed metallic dots. And they're in the annual catalog on page 143, number 4. They're $9. Okay, you get a gold, a rose gold, and a bronze color. So I decorated it that way. Now to the inside of this, I just cut another little ornament and use this saying, wishing you a season decorated with happiness and wonder, which comes from decorated with happiness right here. So, and in this one, I use those rhinestones and just use the green ones. And on the inside, I use some Lights of Glow Designer Series paper and that same sentiment. So we have 3 cards. And I'll have the braided technique. So if you have any questions or need any help in doing this, I will be most happy to help you. All you have to do is get in contact with me. The diagram I will put on my blog, so you will have this to make your own. You will need this in order to do the braiding technique. So I will have that on my blog in the next day or so. I think that's it for tonight. And I appreciate you being here. I appreciate you supporting me. If you do like what we've done tonight, if you could give me a thumbs up and maybe subscribe, that would help my channel grow, which I would really appreciate. Let's see. I see we've got... Hi, Susan. Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm sorry that you didn't get to see how the braid was done, but you can do that by watching the replay. So I thank you all for being here, whether it's on the replay or whether it's tonight. And until next time, dream, create, and share. Bye-bye.